we still do. We still do. We still do.
We still do after all this time at the altar. I alter my mind and vow to God I love you till he make his return. The rain should be the least of your concern. Under God's umbrella, I promise to provide and preserve his word and to serve your mind and spirit. Let me drive the boat. I promise I'ma steer it. The devil cannot get near it. You'll know this soon as you hear it. You need me, I need you. Even after the altar, we still do.
Like, and so you're saying we have a tendency to look at the symptoms of what the root issue is and not looking at the root.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think it's important. And if that's something that you can't identify on your own, and feel free to seek outside help. But I think you can't just build on top of this mountain or this pile. And we're talking about a spark, right? And so if you have this fire, you can't build on top of pain that's there, that's unresolved. How did we get here in the first place? Did you offend me? Did you betray me? Is it a trust issue that we're feeling? Are you no longer attracted? Like, what is it? We're not as intimate. Is it work that has taken? Am I no longer a priority? Whatever that looks like, we have to address that thing. Do I need to forgive you? Because you cannot build a fire on top of pain. You're going to have your connection go up in smoke in the process of that.
Yeah,
and so I think it's important to identify what that is. And then we can get to the next steps of how do we add fuel to the fire? Like, what does that look like practically?
Yeah. And I think even in that, with identifying where it started, one of the things that we have to be careful of as married couples is who we allow to speak into our marriage. Because I think that's where a lot of problems can start in the first place. Like we mentioned before, like we had people that tell us like the first year of your marriage is going to be terrible, but we didn't experience that. Like we experienced like the first year of our marriage like being phenomenal. And I think because of primarily who we allowed to really have a voice in our life, that our first year was phenomenal. You know, like I listen to people who believe that you can have a blissful marriage, you can have a blissful business, you can have a phenomenal relationship with the people around you, you can have healthy boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like you can love others while also set up boundaries for yourself. Like you can have like an overall healthy, prosperous, blessed life, even if that includes some form of grief or loss. You can have a healthy life. So listening to people like that helped me believe that it was possible to have a healthy relationship in my marriage. Helped me believe that the first year doesn't have to be terrible, and that the first year of our marriage doesn't have to be the best year, and that it actually can get better going forward. And I think because both of us are so in tune with sharing how we feel with one another, you know, sharing about important aspects of our life, that we're able to catch when something is being spoken into our marriage that, you know what I'm saying, might even make us question ourselves or question our partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we do a good job of that, we don't allow something to it's said like this, like a little yeast leavens the whole dough. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't allow this little thing that was said to become a big problem in our marriage. And so because of that, because people allow people who've been in their life or who've been loyal and all the things to speak into their relationship, they never check the source. They never check to see what is their thinking pattern. Like, what do they believe? Because what you believe is what you speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, naturally, like it goes against the grain to say like, you know, I believe that the best years of your marriage are ahead of you, even if you've had a blissful marriage up until this point. Like if you don't inherently believe that, it'll be hard for you to speak it out loud. You know what I'm saying? And so people have to be mindful of who they allow to speak into their marriage. Where you want to go in your marriage, what you want your marriage to look like, you have to look at the people who believe that and allow them to speak that, because this cliche saying is so true. Whether you, like, if you believe that it's possible, you're right.
And
If you don't believe it's possible,
You're right.
you're right.
Mhm.
Because the way you think impacts your actions.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And your actions shapes habits, and these habits dictate the direction you go in your life.
Mhm.
So they have to be mindful of who is speaking into their marriage. Because if they don't catch who's speaking into their marriage, they will find themselves smoked out. And I'm not even talking about smoking weed or anything like that. I'm talking about the flames of their desire,
Yep.
the spark they want to rekindle. It'll turn into something that goes out rather than something that we can actually fan in the flames.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really, really good. I think that's vitally important. One thing that you were saying or that came to mind as you were talking is also as things are coming up, when you get to the point of having this conversation of how do we end up here, it's all the little things that was overlooked. One, in who you let speak into your marriage and speak into your ear, and who is encouraging you either that your marriage can get better or this is it and it ain't gonna get better and you need to leave her or him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's important. And you said something else that I wanted to touch on. Oh goodness, my mind. You were saying how being able to have that conversation and being able to notice, okay, no, if a little yeast leavens the whole dough. Being able to notice if someone else tries to speak something that's contrary, we're like, we'll come to one another or whatever, and not allow that advice or whatever to affect our marriage. I think also it's in us, like in us being able to be vulnerable and have conversations and notice when things are off. So if you're doing temperature checks of just like how you doing, how's the marriage or whatever, to where you have a plan of action to stay on the same page in your marriage, then you'll notice when something's off. Hey, you're not talking as much. Are you okay? Like, how can I pray for you? How can I serve you? What do you need? Or you'll notice like you feel a little bit more distant, so we can address those things head on, because if not, then you continue to sweep things under the rug, and then now it feels like this mountain. And I think that's where it chokes out hope, because it's like you feel like, okay, how do we unpack all of this, or how do we clean up this mess that we've made? Or there's so much distance to where it feels like you're on the other side of the house, even though you're right here. How do I find hope that it can actually get better?
Yeah.
And so I think as a preventative measure, then we can address things head on, and those little things, and don't let it become this elephant in the room that we're not addressing.
And that's good. And it's good for several reasons, because when you really think about it, like the root issue always points back to the heart. It always points back to the heart. And in Revelation chapter 2, I believe it is, like verses 1-7, you have John writing to the church of Ephesus, and he's giving a word to them, you know what I'm saying? Like, and one of the things that is said is like, let me just read it because I want to be
accurate.
Yeah, I want to be accurate. Like, it says, and he's writing, this is Jesus addressing that church. And he says, I know your works, your toils. This is verse 2. I know your works, your toils, and your patient endurance, and how you cannot bear with those who are evil, but have tested those who call themselves apostles and are not, and found them to be false. I know you are enduring patiently and bearing up for one another, bearing up for my name's sake, and you have not grown weary. But this I have against you, that you have abandoned the love that you abandoned the love that you had at first. So what he's saying is, like, your doctrine is on. Your belief is on. Like, the things that you're doing, like, I can tell that, like, what you believe is accurate. Your endurance, like, you're doing all the things. But this I have against you, your heart. It's not a matter of doing all the right things. You're doing all the right things, yet you don't have the heart that you had before. And so the root issue is a heart posture, not the acts. And so what we get so focused on, like when we're talking about the symptoms, we look at the actions.
Yeah.
We look at the things that we're doing or not doing, but when we talk about the root goes back to the heart issue. Like, the heart you once had, the love you once had is different.
Yeah.
And I noticed that. And all of that stuff is good, but I need to talk to your heart, because if I don't talk to your heart, this is going to impact the way that you love the people. Now, it's not sure if this love that they lost was a love they had for Christ or for people, but at the base of it, the root issue is the love isn't the same.
Yeah.
And so we have to understand that if we don't guard what goes into our ears, if we don't guard what goes into our eye gates, like if we don't guard what we're seeing, who we're around, what we're listening to,
And what comes out of our own mouth.
and what comes out of our mouth, that if we don't guard it, then our heart's going to be affected. If we want to help change our mind, if we want to rekindle this fire that we once had, we have to guard what goes into our ears.
Never and always gonna love you and always. No doubt you're my blessing. Ain't no second guessing. No one can separate. We find a good thing. Even after the altar, it's marriage in motion.